Sat Shri Akal. Welcome to Act Now, and I am your host, Rupinder Singh. Every day, we debate development, celebrate new highways, smarter cities, and technological process. Yet daily, families continue to lose their loved ones on our roads. Every monsoon reminds us that infrastructure is not just about construction. It's about safety, resilience, and accountability. So the question is, are we building a developed India or simply building more roads? And more importantly, are we building them to save lives? Today's guest has seen governance from inside. After serving nearly for 2 decades as an IAS officer, he chose a different path. One of leadership, mentorship, and shaping public discourse. He is an acclaimed author, leadership coach, TEDX speaker, motivational speaker, and a columnist, whose latest book, Not So Randomly Yours, reflects on governance, values, leadership, and the choices that shape our society. Joining us today is Mr. Vivek Atray. Sir, thank you for joining Act Now. It's a privilege to have you with us. Sir, we are road crash capital of the world. Every day, 485 people die on Indian roads. That comes to one death every 3 minutes. Why is it so? There's such a huge loss of human life is not shaking up as a country or as a society.
First of all, Rupendraji, I must compliment you for taking up this subject. And since I'm an ex-administrative officer, so I have some ideas on what you're saying. So firstly, each life has to be valued. If 485 people are dying every day, there is something which has to be redressed. Even if we can save 85 lives out of those 485, we are improving as a society. There are 3 things I'd like to say in the beginning. Firstly, it's not on the priority of government, of governance, of administrators. To save lives should be number 1 priority. The hospitals are there to tackle the injuries and to try and save lives at that time. But prevention is better than cure.
Yes, sir.
There is an Amitabh Bachchan jingle which comes where he says ke jaldi mat machaye. And he says, let's save lives by not pressurizing the person who is coming to meet you to hurry up. Because he's stuck in traffic, you know, the traffic woes and all. So I think it is an attitudinal problem and a priority problem. We don't have it on priority. There are many ways to save lives on the road, which we'll discuss. But as a number, this is just too sad that we're losing so many people per day.
Sir, we are leading the world. With 1% of the vehicles, we have 11% of the fatalities. And they have been increasing year on year basis. It is not that, we are making some effort and we're looking into, reduction of figures. No, it's not happening.
I think you're right. You see, people who are pedestrians or cyclists, or they're on a bullock cart or something like that, they will not have fatal accidents unless there is a vehicle which is speeding by.
You're very right.
I mean, a person going on a cycle will not just fall off the road. There has to be there may be some, problem with the road, or there's a lot of rain and he fell and died. That could happen. But it's because of the speeding vehicle that most of the accidents happen, right? Secondly, I've been the licensing authority.
Yeah.
So how are we testing the person who's getting a driving license?
Hardly.
Even I used to issue license after license when I was 25 years old. Then I realized later that these guys are creating accidents. So we should not. So I think we have to be very systematic. We have to train our people who are getting a license. They should realize that this is one more test that they have to pass. India is a country of exams. You know it. Tests. Why can't we take road driving tests safely? I mean, seriously. And then only we will have tests which are difficult to pass and people will fail them and then come back after preparation.
Sir, the fact is we consider cars to be as lethal as any weapon.
Yeah.
हम कार को हथियार मानते हैं. Because with a car or even a 2-wheeler, you can knock down 4, 5, 6 people. They're more lethal than weapons.
That's true.
And I think the system has to have in place such a stringent thing, like we don't issue people licenses to weapon. We do every check.
No, we
do
don't.
Dope test.
I have been giving one recommendation to a deputy commissioner, and I am a former deputy commissioner, but they are taking a lot of time to issue the arms license.
Yeah.
But here we are issuing licenses without checks and balances.
Yeah.
I think it's also an attitudinal problem. You see, there is a bit of casualness in life. That, okay, let's do that this way. Okay, if not this way, let's do it this way. Then, there is a little bit of laziness in terms of meeting deadlines. So you have to rush at the last minute. And these, I don't know whether you've discussed these Zomato, Swiggy people, and it's come up in Parliament also. I mean, if they have to deliver in 9 minutes, they're going to drive fast.
Yeah.
They're going to cut corners and cut red lights. Yeah. So I think there is a provision that these 9-minute deliveries can be increased to 20 minutes. Where is everybody? What is going to happen?
What is that great hurry?
What's a hurry?
Yeah.
So if they deliver in 20 minutes, they take double the time and it's much better. So it's a priority issue. It's an issue of seriousness about it.
Sir, the fact is, at Act Now, we believe that there's nothing accidental. They're all causative, whether it is Zomato person running, or maybe a skill deficient driver who's just gotten the license sitting at home. We regard that accidents are, it's a wrong word. We call it as crashes, because unless we change the perception that they are causative, we won't start considering them seriously.
Yeah, and they're avoidable. Therefore, they're avoidable because they're not accidents.
Yes. So coming back, really welcome your opinion about that. It's an attitudinal problem. It's a governance issue. Like in your book, you've written, not so randomly yours, you've written an chapter about good governance and institutions.
Yeah.
So how do we think every monsoon, whatsoever happens, these are monsoon days, and what we are looking at is today, we came across that missing link on Pune Mumbai highway, which was inaugurated only 2 months back. Mm-hmm. It's come down. It couldn't survive in one rain. And Delhi Dehradun highway expressways got craters into it, so big. So if this is the failure of governance, despite all the claims that we are investing 50,000 crores on roads, what do you think is India's image going to be? In what way dented, it being the 4th largest economy or emerging powerhouse with such failure of governance?
So this is a very important point. It's a quality issue. So the quality of construction, the planning of the road, and you may be aware that in government we identified, when I was in transport, I think, black spots or dark spots where accidents take place. And there are engineering corrections which can take place in that area which can prevent the accident. It's like you're going on a turn and there is a view cutter, or there's a big hedge, or there's a big wall, then you can't see the person. So these things are avoidable. Now, infrastructure is something which has to be seamless. Even cycle tracks in Chandigarh, which are pretty good, but how are they joining the right path without cutting across the road?
Sir, you are very right to bring this into focus. Chandigarh has cycle tracks. But I've been talking about that Chandigarh industrial area, both the industrial areas. Since 2010, I've been writing, they don't have cycle tracks. Chandigarh has cycle tracks close to 200 kilometers. You're rightly saying that on the intersections, they expose the cyclists. Yeah. And the latest data is 6 cyclists have died this year.
In Chandigarh?
In Chandigarh.
That's terrible.
Sir, furthermore, latest statistics say 14 pedestrians have died on Chandigarh roads. This is failure of governance when the Supreme Court has regarded that walking is a fundamental right. Despite that, Chandigarh is the most planned city, I would call it as, in India. And we are looking at, like you rightly said, pedestrian and cyclists, they don't end up into accidents because they're not speeding. But actually they become victim of speeding of other vehicles. So it is more of, I would say, governance failure, where despite the fact that Chandigarh has V1 to V7 roads, we don't have segregation of traffic.
There are two things in this. There may be some instances where, I'm playing the devil's advocate, where the pedestrian actually rushed across the road without any rhyme or reason and tried to cross the road. Whereas the person is driving properly and 60 kilometers an hour, and the persons came out of nowhere. But this is rare. Most of them are due to speeding vehicles. And many of these accidents can be avoided definitely. We haven't even come to drunken driving yet.
Yeah.
Right? So there is again an attitude, if I bring it up for a minute, even in our group, I won't mention which group because that will give it away. In earlier times, and now it has stopped for some reason, They used to post where are the nakas today
Nakas for the
for
day.
drunken driving.
Yeah.
And I am not one who drinks, but I could see my friends posting, avoid these roads because nakas of drunken driving are
And
now
then-
they're everywhere.
And people would,
People would,
in real time, they would intimate the others on the group that I've passed this.
People who should know better are ready to drive home in a drunken condition and avoid the nakas. So what that shows that this is the attitude. So this is not necessarily a failure of governance. It's a failure of the society.
Sir, I don't deny that. When we are sitting at home and getting license for our kids or our spouses or ourselves also, this is our failure as well.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming everything on government. It's collective.
Yeah.
It's now furthermore, when we talk about governance, we include the people who vote for that also. So it is people also responsible for speeding or drunken driving or getting licenses sitting at home. So we blame everyone in the society.
I think one thing that we must agree is India's chalta hai kind of attitude, where we are not that meticulous about things. And being meticulous is a plus point. Those who are meticulous, and I'm not very meticulous, but there are people who are far more meticulous than me, and I often make fun of them that what are you doing? Why are you being so particular? But it is better to be safe than sorry. We both know that. We all know that. So being careful and erring on the side of being extra careful is much better than being casual.
Sir, you actually brought in कि India में चलता है ना? In your book, you write about perception, and we believe perception is the only reality. There is a perception about countries, there's a perception about individuals, right? And in your book also, you further write, and our chaotic traffic is probably not the best ambassador of India's image. So what 3 changes should India make both in policy and in mindset to realize its goal of Viksit Bharat by year 2047?
You're talking about the traffic and road safety part or overall?
I think no country can be developed unless the road system
So
is
let's talk about this, right?
Yeah.
Number one, I think the licensing system has to be very, very properly managed. People need to be trained before they come on the roads. And passing the driving test has to be a stringent kind of process. Number two, the engineering problems have to be done away with. We have to have quality on the roads. We cannot have iron pipes sticking out from here and there, holes in the road. There are, even in Chandigarh, Panchkula or Mohali, you may find places where people are walking on the pavement and suddenly you can fall. If there is no light there, your foot is gone, you have an accident.
In Chandigarh, there are zebra crossing, in front of which there are, either green belts or railings.
That's what.
So they,
So
the purpose of zebra crossing, fails.
So the second one is this. The third is, I think, a little bit of scare has to be there amongst the road users. That if now challans are one way, in Singapore, jaywalking is not allowed. You cannot cross the road anywhere you like. You have to cross it at the zebra crossing. In India, what have we done to avoid that? We have created fences on the road. Millions of rupees have been spent all over India to mar the beauty of the cities by making a fence on the divider that people cannot cross. But Indians manage to cross that anyhow. There is some way, somewhere or the other, where the man will cross it. Okay? We've spent millions of rupees there. What will they do in Singapore? They will have such punishment for any person crossing the road at a wrong place that nobody will dare to cross the road. The city looks beautiful, there is no divider, and there is strict punishment. So that's the third thing.
Sir, I think Singapore, as a small city with very less population, can implement so many things.
But Chandigarh can do it. Chandigarh is like city state like Singapore.
No,
but at least Chandigarh can do it.
But the fact is, even Indian cities. Let's take example of Chandigarh.
Yeah.
Chandigarh is developed city, like I said, but still pedestrians. 14 pedestrians who died just because we don't have enough, footpaths, which are worthy of walking.
No, the Supreme Court is absolutely right. It's a right to be walking alongside a road.
Yeah.
Children should be able to walk over there. And we don't have them. Suddenly, even when you're going to Shimla or somewhere, and the rains are there, suddenly the road will be blocked on one side. You don't know that suddenly the traffic is approaching from the opposite side Suddenly it becomes a double road, then becomes a single road. It's not the way to live or drive.
So it's a chaos everywhere.
Yeah, it is.
It's a chaos.
So I would say that Viksit Bharat needs Viksit roads and road infrastructure and road behavior.
Viksit
Let's
mental
use the word
faculties.
road behavior for safe roads.
Yeah.
Good behavior on the roads. And that doesn't mean not losing your temper. It means driving properly.
Yeah, I think whatever the situation is, no one should lose temper ever. Despite the fact you're right. So, as a motivational...
That is my topic because I speak on that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you.
I speak on road rage, avoiding emotional intelligence, how the person over there is getting angry with you, but you have to keep your cool because in that rash moment, you may do something which will put you in the lockup. So what will you do?
Or maybe he's carrying something, he's under influence. So road rage, I would say you must advise our viewers on that. Sure. That should be the last thing they should, however right they are.
Don't lose your temper on the road. I'm advising them.
Okay. Sir, like Supreme Court has said, walking is a fundamental right. And Chandigarh, 14 people have died. Do you think there is any law or there has to be any law that urban authorities, right, should be held responsible if a pedestrian dies because of lack of walking infrastructure?
See, right to life, right? Okay. Right to service. Let's take the example of the right to service. A particular document is to be issued in 1 week and it's taken 2 months. The Right to Service Act says that the concerned official will be penalized from his salary if it is proven. And this has come in the last, let's say 10 years, 15, 20 years, whatever. Now, accountability has increased, but not totally implemented. Now, you are talking about holding people in the department accountable for deaths. What will be their punishment? That they'll be arrested? It can't be a financial punishment. It will be a legal punishment.
Yes.
Neglect and all that, whatever it is. It has to be there in cases where there is neglect, where they have not done their duty or they have designed it wrongly or there was corruption in the building of the bridge or the road. There's no doubt about it. It has to be there.
It has to be because...
But if there are 14 deaths and you catch the mayor or the commissioner of the city, that you have to be... So then there is a grey area because the system is like that. The officer or the mayor cannot be held accountable for each death, right? Indirectly they can, but directly it may be the person who is involved.
Sir, the fact is, even if there is no personal liability, sir, I'm not saying mayor be held personally responsible. Like you are votary of the fact that governance is and should be more about people than systems, institutes, or infrastructure and rules. Now, what is happening is every day common people are dying. You would have come across this case of Sarthak Mattu, 34-year-old young boy, only son of his parents. And he was not the last one. After that, there was another guy, Yogendra Mishra, 24 years old, knocked down by another speeding vehicle. I mean, India has,
We've lost so many lives. I agree.
We're losing every day. India has zero vision for these fatalities.
No. You see, there is vision, there are policies, there are people, there are officers. There is a road safety meeting held every month in every state. Let me tell you this.
Despite that, fatalities not
maybe in every district also. I was district commissioner. I know that they are held every month. But the implementation is not as good as it should be at all. So if lives are lost all over the world, there's no doubt about it at times. But number of fatalities, as you rightly say, my uncle was, he had to leave the Air Force because of an accident and he lost his mobility. So his leg was gone. In Chandigarh, in a road accident in the 70s or something, when Chandigarh hardly had any traffic.
Yeah.
But that's how things are. We have to, and these lives are at stake. And in 1 second, your life has changed or gone.
What steps, like you're saying, there are road
so
safety.
I have 3 or 4 ideas.
Yeah.
To
sensitize policymakers and society.
Yeah. In the road transport department, I had mooted that the transport buses and even truck drivers can be asked to put the picture of the family on the dashboard.
Good.
At all times. The driver is driving and there's a huge picture of his children and his family over there, parents. And that makes him a little bit less likely to drink and drive, to drive over fast. We have seen drivers driving buses in fog, deep, dense fog, where You can't see anything and he's going at 60, 70, whatever.
Yeah.
Secondly, I think there should be some encouragement for outstanding public drivers. Those who have never created any mishap, those who have always been getting good feedback from the passengers, give them an incentive, recognize them, give them a financial incentive, honor them also. When I was in Panchkula, we started honoring people who were elderly people only, because who were stopping at the red light when there is nobody else. And we would be there. We would go and give them some flowers or something. 1 or 2 days we did that. It's an example to create. And in Chandigarh, it should be there. And lastly on this, I think children, school children, can be the greatest messengers, emissaries of this. I've written also. Parents listen to the kids. If the kids go and tell their papa, ma'am ने बोला है कि red light पे रुकना है. आप red light क्यों cross कर रहे हो? A 7-year-old child, 6-year-old child tells his papa, and papa, you've been drinking and you're driving. Now the children can say this to their parents.
Yeah.
And the parents listen only to their children. So the schools have to create this wave, and the government should take the help of schools to send the message across to the society. Police and you and I can't give this message to them.
It has to come from within.
From within. The family is telling, the children are telling them. I remember my daughter used to say, ma'am ने ऐसे बोला है. I would say, नहीं, ma'am ने गलत बोला है. कोई भी चीज़. कि ऐसे नहीं होता, ऐसे होता है. नहीं, पापा, ma'am ने बोला है. Ma'am जो बोलेगी वो society में पहुँचेगा.
Sir, basically we think people should take responsibility that they are not driving their vehicle. They're driving their life and the lives of their own loved ones, even if they're not traveling with them.
Very true.
So you've been into Chandigarh administration and you've been DC. Now of Panchkula. Now this is Tri-City, Chandigarh, Panchkula and Mohali. We see a lot of policy paralysis. We see a lot of interdependence. People from Panchkula go and work in Mohali. But there's no public transport system. It is lacking. And that is leading to all the congestion on the roads. People have to buy two-wheelers. People have to buy cars. Why do you think we have not been able to solve this, in a Tri-City, create something like NCR so that we can handle the challenges of today and be ready for tomorrow?
No, there's no doubt there's been red tape in this. There's no doubt. Use the word policy paralysis, which I was going to contest, but I think you're right. And there should have been much faster decision making. And there should be an MRTS across the board, not only the Tri-City, but also Parvanu, Baddi, Gorakhpur, this, that. It should all be there. Deravasi and all, they should be covered. And why not include Parvanu, etc. And anybody can come. So in a modern society, I should have the option of hopping onto a train or something, or a coach, bus, which is taking me exactly there without any problem. Like Delhi has a metro which goes from the railway station to the airport. It's a huge traffic jam otherwise. It has helped a lot of things.
Yeah, it has.
Why can't we have it here? Yeah. So we need the governments to work together. I think Government of India will have to take the lead in this, because then Punjab and Haryana governments come in. And there's no politics in this. There cannot be any politics. It has to be a practical decision.
It has to be a vision for tomorrow.
It has to be the best decision based on the expert advice, and it has to be implemented.
Sir, what message would you like to leave our viewers with? Because we see a lot of behaviors. Recently, we saw a video of a person reversing his vehicle on the highway because he had missed an exit, and that led to crash. So, and then there are youngsters who making a lot of stunt reels. And then, I was shocked to see a young lady on hills trying to stop a truck. And by the time the truck was ascending uphill, he stopped, and that girl started to dance as if she's accomplished something. What would you like to say to such irresponsible behaviors?
I think we have to take life and very seriously, our safety very seriously. They say time is precious, but time is not as precious as life. Life is precious. So we have to not cut corners, literally and even otherwise. And we have to be very, very, very careful. And the best way to do this in our society is to prepare the next generation for it. The children of today, the teenagers of today who are going to be driving on the roads, they need to be prepared even now. Add that subject in the class and have a test, whatever it is, and make sure that they are going to be better drivers than the guys and girls who are on the road now.
Sir, you are a motivational speaker. You go to a lot of universities, colleges. We would request you to bring up this topic And if you need any resources, we are there to assist
I'll
you.
be very happy to. I'm very happy that there is a podcast on this.
Yeah.
Road safety and saving lives. I never knew about it earlier. You told me, and I'm
Thank you
happy
very
to come.
much.
And we've known each other for so many years.
Yes.
But this is very vital, and I'm so happy to spend time. And I'm sure that we'll get the message across.
Thank you very much, sir. If there is one message from today's conversation, it is that better roads alone won't save lives. Better choices will. Thank you for watching Act Now. I'm Rupinder Singh. Until next time, stay responsible, stay safe, and remember, safer roads, safer lives. Please like, share, and comment on the issue. It's very important for all of us. Thank you.